Hello YouTube, this is Ty376 and welcome back to another edition of Stories from the Friendzone, the segment where we go to the Friendzone subreddit, or maybe the teenagers subreddit as well, to find these children that need help, these children that are in the friend zone, having relationship problems, and I'm the only one that can help them. I'm the only one that's going to look at these and say, you know what? These posts are not a complete joke. They're totally serious. It's impossible that it's unfathomable that anyone could think that these posts are anything short of being completely serious. And so I pick these posts up and I read them and I dole out some advice. Am I friend zoned? Recently, I started to like one of my friends. She has always been really nice with me, and she loves to hug me, be with me at parties, and has told me I'm hot and really easy to talk to. So I thought, why not ask her out, and I did it last Wednesday. I invited her to the movies, and I was not clear about it being a date, my mistake. So she told some friends to come with us. I was kind of mad at first, but then I realized that I could just hang out with her and our friends and see how things go. Anyway, we went to the movies yesterday and everything was going well. Her attention was mainly focused on me, even when we were on a group of 7. She laughed at my bad jokes, sat beside me on the movie. We were just enjoying and having a great time until one of my friends, I wanna fucking kill you, man, said, guys, I'd better get going. I'm just here third-wheeling these lovebirds. In response to that, she got mad and told him, you're an asshole, and everything became tense, so not much to say about it. What has me worried is the meaning of the asshole. I don't know if she told him that because she felt offended, because she sees me only as a friend, or because she felt embarrassed and awkward like I did. Well, first off, I'm gonna clear you. I think you're in the clear here, dude. I think you should stop second guessing yourself. 2 reasons. You're hot and really easy to talk to. There's some dudes out there that are hot or, good looking guys, and they can't hold a conversation. They can't compliment a girl. To be honest, a lot of the people on this sub aren't going to get as far as I asked her out on Wednesday. So you got that going for you, which is fantastic. Also, she called your friend an asshole, and what's the meaning of it? Girls sometimes call guys assholes in a flirtatious way or in a joking way, in the place of saying, oh, that makes me feel awkward, or, you're just joking around. It's just a girl's way of kind of joking around. Sometimes she'll say, you're an asshole, you're a jerk, you're mean, blah, blah, blah. Don't really worry about it, unless you are being a complete asshole, in which, then she's just telling you the truth. But basically, she's just joking around. I think you should keep pressing. Try to get that second date that's going to be just you and her. And then, try to seal a kiss or something like that. I think you got this one just by reading your posts. Not going to spend too much time on it. Good luck with that, buddy. Should I stop talking to her? Well, if it wasn't obvious by my username, I have been friend-zoned. This is a throwaway account, by the way. Anyway, I met a girl back in October. We have been talking every day ever since, and I got feelings for her. She is usually always the first one to start texting me, and we usually talk for a good few hours. But I know she doesn't have feelings for me, mostly because she has a crush on someone else. It makes me sad, though, that she tells me she loves me, which I know she means in a friend way, but she just throws around those words like it has a lesser meaning. So I've been just wondering if I should just stop talking to her for now, since of course I want to be her friend, but just the feelings I have for her, it hurts me sometimes with the things that she says, because I know it's not going to happen. I was wondering what your guys' 2 cents would be on this. If you need more clarification on the situation, I will be able to deliver. It's a little late, so I'm currently keeping this short and sweet. Thanks. Well, I haven't read any of the comments, so I don't know any more about this guy's situation, so I'm just going to read off this. And, well, by reading the comments, it pretty much seems like he's not going to make the move. So, first off, just to start at the end of your post, you say that you know that it's not going to happen. Well, the magical thing about things that you think or things that you know or things that you tell yourself, usually they come true. I know it's kind of a cliche, or that it absolutely is a cliche, and that it's hard to imagine when, you know, you're young, or even for older people, a lot of people have problems understanding that, is that things that you think and say to yourself usually come true. So when you say something like, you know it's not going to happen, guess what? It's not going to happen. Specifically because you put yourself in that mindset. You put yourself in that position to where it's not going to happen. If you enter a race and your first thought is, I'm not going to win this race, you're not going to win. Plain and simple. Is that you're not going to, when you're reaching that finish line and you got to pull out that extra ounce of energy, that extra tigerness, the extra fierceness to be able to finish the race, it's not going to come out. Because you know you can't win it. It's a very bad place to be mentally. Now, why won't it happen? Well, you started off by saying you talked to her for a few hours every day, either over the phone or over text. You are way too available for this girl. Of course you're her friend. Of course you're friend zoned, because you're making your time a commodity. She knows that she can text you, hit you up, and you're immediately going to respond. You're immediately going to just start talking because you don't have anything else going on with your day. I mean, you might be playing some video games or something, but generally you're bored. You're a teenager that is doing boring shit and probably just staying inside or whatever. So, you know, she's going to hit you up and you won't have been hanging out with friends. You won't have been doing anything important involving, you know, your schoolwork or your career or anything. So, of course, you're going to respond. And, of course, you're going to waste 2 or 3 hours on a girl that's not going to date you. One of the first steps, or rather, one thing that's really going to help you in the long run as far as just attracting girls in general, is don't stand by on the text message. Don't get a text and immediately answer and then be available for the next 2 or 3 hours. Because what is she going to talk about? She's going to fucking talk about the guy that she has a crush on. The guy that's in the hallway that's really cute and she wants to talk to, but she can't, so she just fucking texts you and talks to you, and then talks to you about how the guy's cute. Like, do you really want to fucking listen to that? Do you really want to be paying attention to all the girly shit that she's talking about? Especially when that shit involves other guys. You know what I'm saying? If you make yourself completely available to this girl, she's gonna continue talking about that bullshit. And that should be bullshit that you filter out of your ears and instead, you know, go airsofting with your friends, or, you know, going to the movies with your friends, basically just doing anything except trying to manage this girl. Because if it wasn't you that she was talking to, think about it this way. She would be texting one of her girlfriends and talking about, guy likes me, or like, I have a crush on, blah, 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 and you're just a replacement for one of her girlfriends. But you're a guy, and so you understand about guys. Why doesn't he like me? I have a crush on him. You know what that's like. Da-da-da-da-da. Don't fucking pay attention to that shit. Now, why is my last piece of advice telling you to go for it? Why am I now going to tell you that you should tell her how you feel and that you should actually ask her out on a date? Why am I going to tell that to you? Well, because you say that you're not going to. this is key. You're gonna have to ask this girl out for the future you. Not for the you right now, but for the future you, you're gonna have to save face and ask this girl out and possibly get rejected. I mean, she might be willing to go out with you or whatever, but you have to go for it. Before you cut this girl off, before, you stop talking to her, realize you're in the friend zone and all of that business, you should ask her out and you should get rejected just to get that out of your system. Just to know for a fact, yes, I'm in the friend zone. Yes, I've been on standby talking to her for 3 hours a day over text messages. You should get that out of your system, realize what that feels like, and then move on to a different girl. If you don't ask this girl out, you're going to spend your entire life wondering, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I say this? Why didn't I ask her out? Why was I talking to her over text for hours on end, even though it wasn't going to turn into anything, and I really should have done something, and I'm 21 years old and I'm kicking myself in the ass because, I don't know how to ask a girl out now. So, ask this girl out, get rejected. It's very important that you do this so that you can move on with your life and talk, maybe, find a girl that you can talk to for 2 and 3 hours a day that is actually into you. Because you know what? It's fucking junior high school. You guys have time to be talking on the phone for fucking ever. You might as well find someone that's willing to, share themselves with you. Used a new way to confess your love to a crush without technically telling her. The other night I was Skyping with 2 girls. One is my crush and one is a mutual friend between my crush and I. We will call my crush Bailey and the other girl Sarah. Side note, Sarah knows about my crush on Bailey and decides to help me out. We devise a plan where she asks me questions about Bailey and Bailey hears me. After 40 minutes of random talk, Sarah says, "Hey, I have to go do chem homework." Bailey says, "Okay," and Sarah leaves. I said to Bailey, "Hey, an old friend is calling. I'll be back in 1 minute." I had told Sarah to call. By now, Bailey was waiting by her computer for me to return. I positioned myself to where I was next to my microphone so Bailey could hear me, but just far away to where I sounded a few feet away. Sarah: "So what is it you like about Bailey?" And me, saying all the right things. Bailey is not clicking her mouse anymore, so she must be listening. Sarah says, "Wow, you must really like her." And I continued to spill gooey details about why I like her. Sarah says, "Well, I'm gonna go, see ya," and ends the call. I then go back to the computer and put my headset back on and ask, "You still there?" Bailey is choked up. "Yes, I'm still here." And me, pretending to be oblivious, "Cool. Hey, I have to go, but I'll see you tomorrow." Bailey sniffs. "Okay, good night." After this, she texted me and said she felt the same way. Yes! Well, congratulations to you, and this just brings me back to the days of AOL Instant Messenger, waiting for Bailey, 05 to sign on, or Baby Starflow, or whatever it happens to be. And, I'm over here, Ty 37.6, and I'm, waiting for that customized door opening sound, or that sign-on sound that rings every time that my crush gets on a computer, so I can run over to the computer and just, wait a little bit, wait 2 minutes, because you don't want to message her right when she signs on, because then you're way too desperate. But you're gonna wait a couple minutes and then, okay, yeah, we'll message her and whatever. And then try to get a little conversation going for the next 2 or 3 hours. It's good times. And now y'all have Skype and it's all video and such. Well, congratulations. You figured out a way, devised a plan in order to capture the girl and woo her. Now, okay, good job on this one, but I'm going to have to tell you that this is only going to work once. In the future, this will not happen. This will not work on future girls. Girls in the future are not going to be swayed by, you having a conversation with someone else specifically about her. In fact, it would logically make no sense for someone to call you and then start asking you about your crush, asking you about, oh, so you like so-and-so, blah, 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 and that's literally the entire conversation. No way would that fucking happen. I know that it happens in, movies. It happens in 500 Days of Summer where, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, his friend is he has the white friend, and then he has the friend that is from Super Troopers that was really high in the back of the car, and they're both there in the coffee shop, and they're like, well, what do you think about girl, man? You totally got a crush on her, and spill all the details. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, yeah, man, she's so cool, and blah, blah, and I'm having relationships problems, and, his friend's like, well, I'm gonna give you some advice, and I'm totally sold out on your relationship. I'm completely 100% interested. Every time you call me wanting to talk about some bitch that I don't care about, I'm gonna be right here in the coffee shop listening to every word you say and spilling that advice, bro. I'm gonna be right here giving you that advice on your relationship. There's a movie fucking coming out, and that role, I don't know what the movie is called, but that role is being played by LeBron James. So there is a movie where LeBron James is the dude friend in the coffee shop that's giving the main character advice on his fucking relationship. That is fucking hilarious. Now that I've described it, I might actually watch that fucking movie. But that never fucking happens. There is never going to be a time in your life where somebody, calls you or strikes up a conversation and is wanting to talk to you about your relationship problems. It will never fucking happen. Because you know why? People aren't interested in talking about your relationship problems. People are dealing with their own relationship problems. If anything, they would want to talk about their own relationship problems. Now, the second thing is, just to close this out, I should start by saying that I read a little bit of the comments here, and one of the commenters asks, how is this any different from actually telling your crush why you like her? I'm not trying to criticize, it just seems like it has the same end results to me. And the original poster replies, for me, it's about the possibility of rejection. In the future, you're going to want the possibility of rejection from girls. Rejection is like a pool of cold water. It's like a very cold pool where no one wants to get in it. No one wants to jump in it because it's fucking cold, and who wants to do that? But in reality, it's not gonna hurt you. You jump in, you decide that you're gonna do it. You decide that hey, you know what? I'm not a pussy. I'm gonna jump into this pool of cold water. And, I'm gonna take a deep breath, dive right in, and maybe I'll warm up to it. Maybe I'll stand straight up, decide that this is complete bullshit. It's super cold, and then you're gonna jump right out. It's not gonna hurt. It's going to be something that has a very negligent effect on your life. And it's going to be very important for you to deal with those kinds of situations, because you're not just going in life, you're not just going to be rejected by girls. You're going to be rejected by employers. You're going to be rejected by the bank. You're going to be rejected by, your landlord or something like that, and plenty of other girls as well. It is a very good practice to be going for that rejection. You actually are going to want a chance at rejection, because if you have a chance at being rejected, that means that you've put yourself out there so far to where you might get accepted. It's a thing where it's no longer just a possibility of rejection, but it's also a possibility of acceptance. Imagine if you had just asked this girl out or told her why you liked her over Skype or whatever, and I'm not going to bust you too much on doing it over the internet, because you actually made it happen. But what if you had actually asked her out face to face? She would have said yes. You would have been totally accepted, and rejection wouldn't have even been a thing. Now, of course, there was the possibility of it, but you would have realized what it would have been like to put yourself out there all the way, and then to be accepted for who you are, and to be going on that date or whatever. Rejection is a good thing because it teaches you and it shows you who you belong with and who you don't belong with. Rejection shows you where you should be and where you should not be. And if you're ever in a situation where you have the possibility of being rejected, that also means that you are in a situation where you have the possibility of being accepted. Well, that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you, everybody, for the posts. Thank you for listening, and we will see you later.